Good morning, guys, and welcome to Unique Not Different. And this week we celebrate International Week of the Deaf. On the 23rd, Thursday, is International Sign Language Day, and on the 30th is World Translation Day. And with me, I have the Principal of NCPD, Ms. Kahaya Sooklalsingh, and I also have a disability advocate who happens to be the Director of NCPD, Ms. Shereen Baksh, to talk about the services that they offer as they cater for persons who are deaf and hard of hearing. So good morning and thanks for coming on my segment. So I would start with Ms. Sooklalsingh, Mrs. Sooklalsingh. In terms of World Sign Language Day, as well by extension, World Translation Day, what is the significance of those 2 days as it relates to, as opposed to any other day in terms of throughout the year, as it relates to pushing towards sign language and catering for more inclusive sign language and translation?
Good morning to all. Well, as we know, there are a lot of people throughout our country that do not know how to sign. Many times we may speak to persons who are deaf and just try to mouth stuff. And I really appreciate this day because it breaks the communication barrier between persons who are deaf and the hearing community, so we can show a little more appreciation and to be able to understand each other a bit better.
And in terms of translation?
And the translation, obviously, we have to commemorate that day because we have to show appreciation for the interpreters who are the ones responsible for breaking that barrier.
Understood. And in terms of the NCPD, what services do you all cater for the deaf and hard of hearing in particular, and what age group do you all cater for?
Well, at NCPD, we take students from age 14 and up. And Miss Camille here with me, she's our life skills instructor, and she's the one who would usually help sign to our students who are deaf within our classrooms to ensure that, they grasp whatever lessons are being taught.
So that means you're saying 14 and up. So that means you all target persons specifically who may not have that, who did not get that particular upbringing, I won't say upbringing, but skill set in terms of sign language as a child?
It varies. Some who may come here that are deaf, they have never learned sign language at the age of 14, correct, Ms. Camille?
Correct.
And there are some who would come from Cascade School for the deaf. They are versed in sign language. So it varies.
And I will go to you, Miss Baksh. In terms of the NCPD holistically, what are the services you all provide in terms of catering for children and even adults with disabilities?
Thank you, Shamla, and good morning to all. We at National Center for Persons with Disabilities provide training and rehabilitation to varying disabilities. In fact, all disabilities except mental. So we have trainees who are blind. I myself am visually impaired. I acquired disability from a horrific vehicle accident. So we have those persons who are born with disabilities and those of us who acquire disabilities. So we cater to varying disabilities where we train, and train towards different vocational skills. Catering, woodwork, bookbinding, a whole varied skills, which principal, would be in charge of the syllabus and run it. And we have those students who are graduates, and placing them into jobs is also part of what we do. We appreciate those employers who reach out to us to ask if we have any trainings to place, and we place them, and then they go on to live a near normal life. You have people like me who would have acquired disabilities and we come in to relearn everything, to relearn living a professional and even living normal. We also have persons with extreme disabilities, and COVID has made this difficult for us because we cannot do this face to face, where we teach them life skills in terms of appreciating themselves and being able to do those things you take for granted, brush your teeth, take a shower, these things you take for granted, where people, trainees have to learn to do those things.
Mrs. Sooklalsingh, you mentioned that you'll, well, I actually read that you'll give sign language classes, the first phase of sign language classes. Who actually offers, do you all actually have persons within the deaf community that come in? How that does this service work in terms of the NCPD collaborating with the deaf and hard of hearing community to make it inclusive?
Well, for the basic sign language class that we offer, it's really for members of the public. Say, for example, we have a lot of people from the bank and different organizations who reach out to us, who encounter persons who are deaf and, they really don't know how to communicate with them. So they reach out to us to ask us if we can conduct some, sign language classes with them. Usually it's held at our center. But we also conduct the classes virtually twice a week for about an hour and 15 minutes per session, and at an affordable cost. So it's for everyone. It's not just for the deaf community, but also for those who are hearing.
Yeah, and who facilitates those classes?
We have someone who usually helps us out. Okay. She used to work at our center, but she has moved on. So we would usually ask her to come in to conduct the classes. And as I said before, Miss Camille, she also helps us with the classes.
Awesome. And I would end up with Miss Baksh. What message would you like to give in terms of inclusivity for persons with this disability?
Okay, thanks again. I want to just follow up on what Kahaya stated. And as we move to inclusive society, she mentioned the banks come to us to get the sign language. This is a service we offer to all corporations, where all officers can call us. I mean, come on, deaf people are part of our society. So being able to sign language is just being able to speak. So we offer this service, and any bank, any corporation listening can call us, and we can come and do private sessions with your staff. If you want to do it virtually, if you want to come and do it in person, because, being sign language here on the 23rd and wanting to move towards the integration goals of a inclusive society, this is what we can, all of us can do. And it takes a lot of funding to do the work we do. So therefore, by, using us to train your staff, to make your staff aware, it will give us some income that would allow us to continue to do what we do. I also want to take this opportunity to appeal to everyone to visit our website. We're currently running a campaign, Big Impact, to make a donation that would allow us to do what we do. I mean, it is said over and over, COVID has hit a lot of us very, very hard. So, visit our website, ncpd.charity.tt, and make a donation, please, we are asking, just to, so that we can continue to do what we do. Also, again, whatever services we offer, we write up there with the rest of them and the best of them. We offer these services at competitive prices.
Awesome. I want to say thank you so much for coming and sharing, imparting your what you do in terms of helping the deaf and hard of hearing community, become more inclusive and bridging that gap. And I urge you all to definitely donate, because it's a good cause, a great cause, and we all need to be, we all need to live, and we all need to be included in order to live. And guys, next week I actually have 2 individuals that I promise that will come in and do a little, I guess, crash course on sign language. Jamal and Anessa will come and show us the basics of sign language. And thank you so much again. And with that being said, I want to say, be good, do good until next week. Bye, guys. Bye, and thank you. Bye.